Hello, 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 and welcome to the Penguins Collective Podcast. My name is Louie.
My name is Josh,
Oh, and we're two brothers who love to talk about hockey.
especially the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Who needs Jay Gensel, dude? We got Michael Bunting, who's scoring for the Pittsburgh Penguins, but it wasn't enough. The Pittsburgh Penguins fall in overtime to the Ottawa Senators. 2-1. Heartbreaking loss. Jari played out of his mind. We have a special episode for you tonight. All right, but before we dive into it, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're at. We appreciate you. If you're listening on a later date, thank you. Thank you for listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find your favorite podcast. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. We're just two stooges who like to talk about hockey. We appreciate you being here. We got Coach Donnie, Josh.
Yep.
We got our special guest tonight. Keep it in the family. Okay. Uncle Donnie. And we got Jansen Harkins coming on the podcast relatively soon. And we're just going to talk to him. I'm not going to talk to him about this game. Honestly, who cares about tonight's game? We're just going to talk about Chance. We're going to get to know him a little bit more because sometimes you guys just see the player. That's all you see. You see the player, you see his stats, and that's kind of how you judge him. But tonight, we're just going to talk to him, right? We have some questions from fans on the Discord. We have questions that me and Josh have conjured up, and we have just an overall time just to get to know Jansen. And what's even better is that his uncle will be there asking him questions too. So it's going to be an awesome time. Thank you for joining us. Josh, your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. It's a heartbreaker of a game because the first two periods, they played really well, especially Jari and Drew O'Connor. Like you said, Jari all night was keeping us in it, and Drew O'Connor was doing everything he can to try to, get us a goal to keep us, give us the lead, excuse me. Everything was going our way for a while. Third period, they scored, but then, we were able to get the coach's challenge for the goaltender interference and get that overturned. And then they all went downhill. We had a nice little burst after the challenge in the third period.
Yeah.
And then that was it. And then they finished it off. Then, just obviously recapping, we pulled Jari, we put pressure down in front, and then mentioned Michael Bunting was able to, I like what Colby Armstrong said, bunt it into the net to tie us late in the third, under a minute, and took us into overtime. We got a point out of it. However, that overtime did not look good. There was a lot of oopsies and what's going on here. There's,
there was a lot of question marks and a lot of, I don't know. There was some people falling, some goalies shooting the puck up the ice to try to get the plays going. But overall, I would say, Jari kept us in this entire game. I think that's just kind of how you keep it level there and how you keep the silver lining in this game is that the Pittsburgh Penguins, our goaltender, kept us in this game. There was a lot of chances for Ottawa. There was a lot of chances for Pittsburgh, but that's usually the case always. That's usually the case always for the Penguins. We always have chances, but we never capitalize on them. And today, Jari he was strong. He was strong in net. He kept us in this game. Unfortunately, I will say I always get on Malkin's case here. Sid's line change in the overtime. it was a little late there. He should have backchecked. I get he was tired, but it kind of led to a 3-on-1 there, which led to a goal. Which Josh was with me when we were watching live. And what was the first thing I said when we saw the break? I said, "Oh, Sid, that was a bad line change." And then, of course, it led to a goal. But that's fine.
Prior to that, though, it was really fun just watching Jari just glove save and just like shipping it down the ice. No one down there, but just like, kind of like a lead pass with soccer. You got the midfielder streaking down the side, and you're just throwing it to try to get the connection point, at some point down the field. So that was pretty cool to watch Jari, because I mean he's got the probably the worst stick handling in the league. It is not the best, even though he's. What's that?
Did you say field?
Yeah, I think you were distracted by the comments. What I was referencing was it was kind of like a through ball.
That's exactly. I saw Josiah in the comments talking about bunt cake and trying to read it.
That's what I figured you were distracted by. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my ADD is pretty on point tonight. So
when you give a forward a through ball, you lead them. You lead them like a solid 20 yards ahead of him, so that he can catch up to the ball and make progress. That's kind of what Jari was doing all night.
Yeah.
Thanks, Josiah.
Yeah. All right. That's all right. We get it. All right.
It's nothing new though, Josiah. It's every episode. His ADD kicks in as the comments start racking up, and he doesn't listen to me.
I'm sorry.
I'm used to it.
I'm sorry. Why are all these people coming out of the woodwork for this episode? Is it just because we have an NHL player coming on, or are you coming for Uncle Donnie? You guys just come out to comment now, huh? Now you're attacking me.
Yeah.
Come on.
Wait, and hold on.
All right, Josiah.
NES Addict. What are you saying about AI?
Hold on.
Digitalized?
You're looking a little digital.
Oh, come on. I got full bars tonight.
You're looking a little digital, but it's okay. It's all right. Not all of us can look good like me. All right. I'm here because of the amazing social media presence last few days. That's all thanks to my wife, Abby, who's actually sitting over there. She is moderating the comments. She is making posts for our social medias. She's doing all that. So that's all her. Now
I know why the Wi-Fi is struggling.
Because your wife is on watching this stream.
Yeah.
That's on you. You gotta go tell her. All right, Josh, let's get back to this game here. The Pittsburgh Penguins lose, but we had a good chance. What I was seeing all night is that the Penguins should have been playing like this every single game, right? We've been scoring no more than one goal in the 2 goals last 7 games. 2 goals last 7 games.
No, well, if you count tonight, isn't it 3?
What do you mean?
You're saying including tonight?
Well, yeah, including tonight. So it's this game.
Really?
We've got shut out last game.
Yeah.
We scored the one prior. Shutout, right? Wasn't it? Come on, now we're looking bad. Hey, just I'll throw this chat up real quick. Didn't watch the game. How was the defense tonight? Letang question mark. Last four. 2 goals in the last 4. Not great. Josiah, there was a little slip up in overtime with Letang. He kind of slipped and fell. Puck went the opposite way. Luckily, Jari was there to stop it. But that was a little bit of our defense tonight. But it was all right. Jari stood his ground. He stood on his head the entire night, and he kept us into that game. And just unfortunately, the puck didn't go our way in overtime, even though we had plenty of chances in overtime. All right, let's get really quick. Let's go into our next segment, Josh. All right. We got Coach Donnie here, all right, for his weekly Coach Donnie's breakdown. Did you notice anything change on the screen? It's a little logo down there. Look at that.
Right
Look,
there.
we're all official here. We got official. So let's welcome back to the podcast, Coach Donnie Harkins here. Here we go. Thank you so much for joining us. Really quick, what did you think of the game? What did you think of the overtime? I know you saw a little bit of it. What did you think before we kind of go into the breakdown?
Well, the overtime was pretty exciting, actually, back and forth. Unfortunately, Pens didn't come out on the winning side of it, but it was when you guys talked to me earlier, like what are we going to break down? I was kind of getting nervous before the Pens tied it up there because there wasn't any, like you said, there's only scored 2 goals in the last 4 games. So when you struggle to score like that, it's hard to win hockey games right now. So unfortunately, that's kind of what they're going through. So
yeah, I think the last time we scored was the last time you were on.
Oh my gosh! I think did we just find our lucky charm here?
Yeah.
All right, probably. Donnie coming on every single episode, so that way the Pens can get some scoring here. Now let's pull up the video. I'm just scrolling on Twitter here. I'm just look at that! Wow, that's the Michael Bunting goal. We should probably review that one. Let's take a look. Oh wow! All right, NHL, please don't sue us. Okay, Coach Donnie, here we go. The floor is yours. Break us through this Michael Bunting goal.
It's a great play by Carlson right here, walking the line. He's got pressure up top, and he creates some separation there as he walks the blue line. Go ahead and he makes a tough pass right there on his backhand. Stop it right there. So no one comes out on the forward that has the puck there. So their D kind of stays down tight next to the Penguins player on the left side of the net. I'm not sure who it is because it's kind of small in the interim. But the puck goes wide, I believe, and then I think Sid's going to retrieve the puck.
Yeah, so Sid's going to grab it right there.
And then stop right there. Stop right there. So Sid right now is just basically 6-on-5. We got one more than they do, right? You're trying to create a 2-on-1 as close to the net as possible. Sid's kind of like looking down low, looking off to try and, create a seam. Let it keep running.
Got it.
And now Sid's serving right there. Stop it. As you see, Sid kind of went down and he drew that guy who has the stick in the passing lane, but he's too late getting there. He sucked that guy down, which then Sid went up the wall a little bit, which created that passing lane, a diagonal passing lane. And that's the key to everything. Like if you, on power plays and stuff, if you stay on the perimeter and just going around, the perimeter of the box, the object is to try and get diagonal passes through seams or cross-ice passes through seams. And Sid just does a great job because of his on-ice awareness, hockey IQ, and vision, and then hands to make the play, right? So go ahead and roll it.
Wait, can I pause it?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Just so basically, when Crosby's doing stuff like that, he's thinking about those diagonal passes. He's not just trying to just create space. He's thinking about 2-3 steps ahead.
Yeah, deception. I always call it deception. Like you're looking down low, you're looking up high, you're deceiving, you're being deceptive for those forecheckers or the defensive zone coverage guys to get them to kind of show their hand, like they're playing cards. And then once Sid gets him to where he wants to get him, he's so lethal. He just takes a couple steps up the wall and just has a great seam pass to Gino. And then if you go ahead and roll it, this is a great miss by Gino because he kind of fans on it, which makes the puck kind of matriculate its way to the net. And it gets redirected, I think, by Carlson then over to where, Bunting's kind of standing in front. So right there, if you look, Penn's got numbers. We got 3, they got 2. Okay, that's what you want. And then other guy from the Ottawa has basically collapsed down. But the Pens have 3/2, so that's what you want. So puck then squirts free. We get a lucky bounce. I think Corpusella makes a little bit of a save on it. Comes right on Bunting's stick. And the way Colby Armstrong described it is he really did bunt it. And I think I told you guys earlier, not many times do I see a player shoot the puck across the goal line and then pull the same puck out of the goal. But once it crosses the goal line, it's a good goal. And I think
Louie, does it get the overhead? Does
it get the overhead?
If you keep going.
We'll see. It has a nice view of Sid kind of faking out, like Coach Donnie was saying here. Look at the deception. He looks
with
to
the
his
eyes.
right. He looks
he's
right.
Looking down low. He's looking down low, which sucks that forechecker down low. And then Sid really quickly then just heads up the wall, couple strides, he opens up his legs to make a good crossover right there to get some power and jump, and then
look at the fake.
Yeah,
Sid, that was a no-look pass by Sid.
Oh yeah, he's looking up the boards.
Yep.
Holy cow! No wonder why there was so much creation.
You go back, run that. Go back a little bit more.
Right here.
No. Yeah, okay, roll it and try and go slow so I can kind of see. So when Sid's doing that, he's keeping that top forechecker, checking his point guy up there. I think he's going to be on, by him looking there, that keeps that high guy up, and he beats that low guy to get the seam pass. So basically, Sid's brain and hockey IQ beat both those defensive zone coverage guys, what they're trying to accomplish, and Sid then just sends the puck through to Gino. Gets a shot, kind of just matriculates its way to the net. A couple ricochets, a lucky bounce. But you got to be in the blue paint. Good things happen when you're in the blue paint, and Bunting's right there. The puck squirts to him. Good things happen when you're in the right spot, and it does. And he kind of fans on it, then kind of gets it again, and then let's pull it out of the net. There you go.
Yeah. He just wanted to fake him out. He just wanted to take a little, just throw off the defense there.
Right. So the only good thing is, they scored another, 6-on-5 goal at the end of the game. The bad news is it's happening more times than often because they're trailing in the game, but they're finding ways to, irk points out of games where it looks like they're not going to get any points at all. So that's the good thing. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, man, I'm still surprised by Sid doing a no-look pass and no one commenting on it. So that is just unreal. The way that kind of came out, and of course, lucky bounce by Carlson here off the skate, so we don't see it on screen, but down low, you'll see the come off the skate and just lucky bounce, and Bunting kind of whiffed on it, but stick to it.
Enough of it, yeah.
So he kind of whiffs on it, but then he gets it, and then like you said, he pulls it right back out. He wants a better shot on it, so he's going to take it out so he can shoot again. But no, I mean, just overall, great play, I guess, by the Penguins, especially by Sid. Did we lose Donnie there?
No, I'm here.
We got him back.
Yeah.
But just great awareness by Sid, obviously, to set everything up, and of course, happy accidents lead to a good goal here. I don't know what you're laughing at, Josh. We're a serious podcast.
The comments got me. Sorry.
So now who's distracted by the comments? You're coming at me this entire time. We got Coach Donnie here, Josh.
I'm sorry. They just made a good point. We lost Jake Gensel, get half off Jake Shakes. Well, now we got Bunting. Half off.
All right.
Half off Bunt Cakes.
Nothing Bunt Cakes. There you go.
Nothing but cakes. All right. Okay. I'm glad. Okay. I guess that's good. I'll give it to you.
Oh my word.
Well, all right. Josiah says, hey, Yins love Coach Donnie, so got to throw that Yinzer in there. Okay. All right. Any last comments about the coach breakdown?
That's all I got, guys. That's all I got. I got some good news. I got some good news, though. I just found out my neighbor is Kenny Pickett's father-in-law, 5 houses down from me here in Naples. Go Steelers.
Dude, first of all, your connections are wild. Second of all,
did we just become a Steelers podcast?
Hey, I was just walking my
What's back there,
tonight.
Josh? What's back there? Are we becoming a Steelers podcast? No, we're not.
No.
And plus, the people that we're having on.
All things Pittsburgh, Josh. Let's go.
Oh, no.
Just because your internet sucks and you're digitized, don't come at my grill or Louie's now. Come on now.
Yeah, that's right. And by the way, the people we're having on, pretty sure they're Browns fans. So people are already tuning off. They're gone. They're like, oh,
true.
The Harkins are Browns fans. We're at. All right, but let's introduce our next guest. All right, Josh. How's that? Everyone's here. We got people watching. So, ladies and gentlemen, the 47th overall pick in the 2015 draft by the Winnipeg Jets, current forward for the Pittsburgh Penguins, a guy who's willing to throw some hands when the Penguins can't get it done. He comes on the ice and says, Give me the biggest guy. I'll take him to the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, Jansen Harkins. Oh, and we got a knee shot here.
I don't know how to change this for my leg, so I don't know if we're gonna be looking at this one for a while.
All right.
It literally just
This is
happened.
great.
All right. This is good.
I love this.
It's like a Joe Namath segment.
All right.
Yeah.
I like the rug. I like it. It's nice. What is that?
Yeah.
Leather? What are you on, a leather couch there?
That's leather couch, sure. I don't know which even camera is this working, but I guess
There
it's
you go.
working.
Are you?
How's that looking?
What?
You're
You
there.
got an iPhone. What's going on there?
You just had yourself. Yeah, you're there, Jansen, now.
Is that good? It's just
Yeah.
my iPhone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not very big into tech, so this is about as good as we're gonna get, but I'm here.
All right. I love it.
I appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for taking the time to join a stupid podcast where Wi-Fi works half the time. Appreciate it. What's the shirt? What's the shirt say? It's backwards. I can't read it.
It's Thomas Rhett. It's Thomas
Oh.
Rhett. Yeah, I try to get a shirt at like pretty much every concert I go to, and they kind of become my my at home, past the stains and whatnot, kind of in season shirts. So
Gotcha.
this one's had a lot of usage.
Don't kill me. He's country, right?
Yeah.
Thomas
Yes.
Rhett?
Yeah, he's country.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So big country fan.
I mean, I like a bit of everything, but definitely try to go to lots of country concerts. I think concerts are always a lot of fun, especially the country ones. So I mean, I think those are probably my favorite, concerts to go to are country for sure.
Was he at PPG recently?
No, I actually got this one. I think I got this one last year in Winnipeg. So we'd get tons of country artists in Winnipeg coming through. That was pretty much the main staple there. So I've accumulated quite a few.
I fully understand that. I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised if you said you got that at Wilkes-Barre, because at Montage over here we get that.
My gosh,
we get all the country guys.
Oh yeah,
bunch of rednecks up here. We love it.
You were in Wilkes-Barre for what, 11 games, right? And then you got called up to Pitt.
Yeah, I was in Wilkes-Barre for I think 11, pretty much a month, maybe like 5 weeks or so.
Okay, all right. But so explain something for two stooges who know nothing about Canada. So is Winnipeg like a country place? Is it like their Texas? Like, help me out.
Yeah, I mean, sort of. We don't really have a Texas, I guess. That's the difference. But I would say Alberta is more of our Texas in terms of cowboys and stuff like that. I mean, I think Alberta's definitely got a lot more kind of country in it. Manitoba, like Winnipeg, is it's cold. I mean, it's right on the border of North Dakota and kind of like Minnesota and stuff like that. So it's more similar, I think, to a bit more Midwest and but I mean the prairies are the prairies. Like, people love country, and I think in Canada in general, I think people just love country.
That's fair.
Good to know. Right. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I'd say pretty much every Canadian. I mean, all the Canadians I know like enjoy country for the most part. So. Really? Maybe that's just a hockey crowd. Maybe it's probably just a hockey crowd.
I have seen a lot of hockey players love the country, which I guess that's kind of where they fit in, right? It's not really. I don't know. Is it a big? I don't think it's a big rap.
Well, Mike Fisher's married to Carrie Underwood, so that's as country as it gets.
That's true.
I think country's always kind of been a staple, and I think in dressing rooms, kind of just when there's not really anything else to put on, or like if it's early in the morning or something like that. I mean, country's always pretty popular in the room. I mean, I prefer it rather than some music, depending on the time of day. So, I mean, we're at the rink too. Like, in season, we're at the rink pretty much from 8, 9 in the morning until we're only really there till the afternoon, like 1 or 2. So. There's not tons of music that's like goes down easy in the morning, but I feel like country's always a pretty safe bet. So
I was
think
just about
That's
I was
fair.
just about to ask your daily routine as a hockey player, right? So like what does that look like? You said you're there at 8 a.m.
yeah, I mean, most days. I mean, every day is different, and as the season goes on, like practice days become a bit more few and far between. But um, for the most part, I mean, as long as we're not up too late the night before, if it's like late travel or something, we're
Oh,
usually at the
okay.
rink. Yeah, we're usually at the rink on a normal day where you'd kind of get a normal amount of sleep. We'll be at the rink by I'd say like 9 a.m. Most guys are there by 9. We don't usually have anything start team wise until 9:30, 10 o'clock if it's video or meetings or something like that. But I mean, we get fed at the rink, and lots of guys will get there early and kind of get yourself situated if you need to, tape something up or get something worked on or heated up or stuff like that. Like we have so many resources now that I mean, you can kind of go to the rink as early as you want to get yourself ready to practice, or even if you're not practicing, just kind of feeling good. So, I mean, it's a fun place to be, right? Like all we really all we really have, if we're not from the city where you're playing, I mean, the main things you have are kind of the guys on the team and the facility, right? So, being at the rink is just like it's the best place to be, other than kind of at your house. And I think lots of guys like to get up and kind of get out of the house early, like the normal person.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
So I mean, you're talking about your daily routine, and country is the way to go. I know, when other athletes that I've talked to in the past about what they do to get ready for a game, there's usually some rap or some rock and like or heavy metal. Is there any like do you use music to hype yourself up before a game, and are you using country to do that?
Um, I mean, I'm using music for sure. I think ever since I was a kid, like I remember being a kid one time or one year my parents bought this or we convinced my parents to buy this like boom box me and my brothers
Nice.
for like a fundraiser or an auction item or something. And it was this big like gold boom box that had like an aux outlet on it. So
Nice.
we might have been like, like 10, 11, 12 years old walking into the rink. Like somebody had to bring the speaker and like we played music before games when we were like kids. So I mean, it's always been music in the room before games. Obviously, like the more you start or you keep playing and you go to pro, and we have our own dressing room and now and stuff. Like we're gonna be playing music all the time. So pretty much anytime you're at the rink, like the room always has music playing. I mean, if the music is not going in the dressing room and you're at the rink, like someone's gonna hear about it. I think that's kind of just an unwritten rule. I mean, I know even in Wilkes, like in Wilkes, we would have the guy, and there's always a couple guys who usually are like playing the music who that's kind of their unwritten, title in and around the room. But the guy in Wilkes, who would play a lot of the music, he wouldn't get there until pretty much like right before the meeting on game days. So there'd be guys at the rink for like 30, 45 minutes before him, just kind of waiting for the music to turn on. And I ended up like asking the
Really?
trainer where I was like, yeah, because I was like, I've never had it just be like empty in a room, right? Especially like even if you're like 2, 3 hours before the game, like it's just like more fun to sit in a room with music playing. So,
So
um,
is it like just having the balls to be like, dude, I gotta play some Thomas Rhett, otherwise I'll go insane? Or like do
yeah,
you wait until like the guy comes in? Like so if
Are you
you
allowed to
go
name
and
drop?
say,
Who is it in Wilkes?
yeah, call him out.
in Wilkes, Joshua was
Yeah.
he was the one who was playing a lot of the music at least when I was there. So, I mean, I like everybody's music. Like, I'm not very picky in music. Like, I like new stuff, old stuff, like all in between. But as long as it's playing right, and like you wanted like at a decent like tick on the volume as well. So
Yeah.
I just remember like I asked the trainer there, where I was like, "Can you just turn on like and most trainers too like." Trainers will play their music when they're in the room more than anybody, right? Like they're looking at
Yeah,
equipment,
stand
figuring
up.
stuff
Yeah.
out. So I just asked the trainer, I was like, "Can you throw on some music before like Jags gets here, so we can have some music in the room for like the 20 minutes he's not here?" And I mean, I think
Were
a lot
they
of it is obviously like your comfort level, right? Like if you're a first year guy or like you're new to a place, like you don't really like personally, like I'm not gonna go throw on music or try to like step on any toes with like what you're comfortable with. But I mean, at this point now, I mean, depending on where I'm playing or whatnot, like I'm pretty comfortable like putting on music. But I could see like definitely in my first few years, like I was never touching the music anywhere I played. So it definitely takes some time to kind of get comfortable enough to play what you like.
Sure.
Now, is that a question you ask in the locker room, or is that just kind of like you just keep your head down and you just do your thing until someone says something to you?
I mean, in terms of like who's playing the music, I don't know. It always kind of has a way that works itself out. Like whoever plays music, like usually, I mean, most teams, like there's been guys who been doing it for a while and they just keep it going. And I mean, unless you're really picky, like no one's really gonna have a problem with what people are playing or whatever. So I mean, it's a pretty like small part of people's day or complaining about like what music's being played. There's definitely like times where there's music on that's like not everybody's favorite, but I mean, to each their own. But I think music in the dressing room or locker room is a huge part of like day-to-day life. And in Pittsburgh it's great. I mean, PO has been the music guy since I've been here this year. So
Okay.
he's great. He's the younger guy for doing it too. Like um for guys who play music, like he's pretty young in terms of like I feel like who usually do it. So I think he does a great job. I've talked to him a few times about it. It's kind of a funny conversation. Like it carries a lot of weight, especially for the older guys, who have things they maybe like better or whatever. And he's being a younger guy, like he's got to try to be able to like sprinkle in, like what everybody
Yeah.
likes. So he does a great job. I think he's got a huge range for the DJing. So he does a good job.
Before we get to the next question from someone on Discord, if you had to put one song into that, DJ PO, which is what somebody put in the comments right now. if you were like, hey man, give me one song tonight. All right, really to get me going out there, right? You need to fight someone in Washington. You're like, I need one song to get me going. What is it?
When the Music Stops was always that was my track, like when I was a kid. Me and my buddy Bo, shout out to Bo, but we knew every word to that song growing up. And that was a song that I would listen to when I was a kid. I mean, I feel like now I don't really have anything, like I said, like I don't wear headphones in the room anymore, or like I don't wear headphones warming up or anything. So I honestly haven't been choosing my own music for years now. So I don't know if I have one on the top of my head that like comes on. There's definitely a few that come on, like just that happen to come on that like get me going. I mean, I personally I like rap. Is probably
Okay.
my favorite like pregame music genre is like
Nice.
rap or hip hop or something like that. But I mean, you turn on some like old rock or AC/DC or something like that. That's like pretty
Nice.
nostalgic to when I was growing up too. I feel like that always does the job. But I mean, it's just like a mixture.
Right.
I think there's always good time for good songs.
I mean, that's true. That's true. All right. Well, we were talking about when you were walking in the room, you're kind of new to the locker room for the first time. We got a question from Brian on Discord. What is it like playing on a team with NHL legends like Sid, Gino, and Tanger? Were you starstruck when you first met them / playing with them?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the best way to put it. I mean, there's certain things in life, that don't get old, and I think being around guys like that are just something. I don't think there'd be a time where I'd walk in where I wouldn't be like just a little taken back. Where it's pretty cool. Like it really kind of brings you, uh, I don't know, into reality or out of reality. Kind of every day you get to see those guys
Sure.
and be around them and just like talk and chit chat. And I mean they're all great guys and they're really funny in their own ways. So it's been really cool to kind of obviously get to know them. And they all love like hot stoving and just talking and chatting about everything. So I think
Wait,
that's
what'd
the
you say?
coolest. What's that?
They like what?
Just hot stove and like talking about anything really, like debating and
Okay. All right.
and stuff like
See,
that. Yeah.
we don't know the hockey slang, so we love it. So it's a hot stove, Hot topics is what I'm kind of gathering from it.
I think.
All right, yeah, you got to dumb it down for me. Bring it down to a third grade level here. So
that's
okay,
about what I'm at too. So it's, I think honestly the coolest part about playing with and I've had a chance to play with some really iconic players too everywhere I've been really. So it's I think just kind of getting to know guys at more of a personal level and just kind of a regular shoot the shit a little bit level. That's kind of the coolest part because it's something that you don't really. That's the one thing you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else, right? You can watch guys, you can buy tickets to games, you can watch videos of whatever, but actually being in just a regular conversation that's always, I feel that's the coolest part for me. And um like I said, just really, really awesome dudes, and just love to kind of be at the rink and joke around. And you know, I in saying that I haven't been here that long, and the season goes by so quick. But I'd like to think I've gotten to know them decently well, and that's something you want to obviously get to know guys as well as possible, just for be able to play with them and
yeah.
create a good feeling on the ice and chemistry and stuff like that. It goes a long way.
Now, how does it feel? And then I'll give it to Donnie after this. I'll let your uncle ask you a question. But how does it feel? Right, you're talking with these guys, these legends, and then you go out and you score the the shootout goal, and they haven't scored, and you're like, yeah, how about them apples? Does it feel good to kind of be like, hey, I won that? Let's mark that one down.
Yeah, that was a crazy good feeling. I think I don't know if that's exactly what I was thinking of at the time and or whatever, but I wasn't trying to one up anybody. But obviously, it was awesome to score. Unfortunately, really haven't had that feeling too often this season. So it's uh, you want to be able to step up. I think that's the biggest thing, right? No matter kind of who, if they missed or they scored, if everybody could have scored, but being the one to kind of step up and get the job done. That's the feeling. That's kind of why you play, right? So being able to kind of do something that helped the team win. That's just the best feeling of all. And my dad was actually there at the time. We were having our father's trip, so that was pretty special. And just having the dads around and being able to just sit in the room after and have a beer and just kind of relax, and knowing that it was such a high, that's such a high stress environment, especially you go that many rounds. There's minutes on minutes of just kind of sitting there waiting for something to happen, and then getting to go out there. I don't think I didn't play in overtime. I probably didn't play the last 5-10 minutes of the game, so I hadn't been on the ice in probably 30 minutes. So you go out there and you're stiff. You're stiff.
Sorry,
and
how'd you score that goal?
I pretty much did. I did the exact same thing I did in Edmonton, and I missed the net. So just try to kind of get the goalie to bite with my eyes a little bit, and then put it back kind of where I was coming. And I think it just went through his arm, and I'm not sure if it hit anything or whatever, but it went in. I think goalies are so good now. Every goalie plays penalty shots and everything so differently, especially at the end of the game opposed to at the start of the game, how the ice is and stuff like that. There's a lot that kind of comes into your mind on what you want to do. For me, it was I knew I was shooting because it was the end of 12 rounds and 3-4 periods of hockey, so the ice wasn't going to be very good to deke on. So I was I'm going to shoot the puck. Then it's a matter of just where am I going to try to shoot, right? So
Gotcha. Yeah. All right, Donnie, Uncle Donnie, go ahead.
Yeah, Jansen, I was just teasing these guys before you got on and everything. So, a lot of people don't know we're pretty tight-knit family, a highly competitive family with my brothers and stuff. And I just wanted to ask you, who's your favorite uncle?
It's only one answer, I guess. I can go to my mom's side, I guess. That's what I can do.
There you go.
That's good.
I don't know. That's not gonna. I don't want to pick.
Uncle Rod or Uncle Brett just came in off the top rope. That's unbelievable.
That's like asking you to pick favorite nephews, but I feel like I know the answer.
Yeah, Beckham. I know.
Beckham. I think
shout out to Beckham.
Shout out to Beckham. I mean, I think
Shout out.
I don't know. It's fun to have a family like ours. I mean, everybody's obviously like super tight, and um, didn't get to see everybody growing up being in Vancouver as much as maybe I think everybody would have liked to, or stuff like that. But I mean, I think we always made the times count that we had together. So it's been a fun ride. I think we got a lot of different personalities, and I think that's kind of the fun of it, right? Everybody's so different, and everybody knows how to like push each other's buttons, and there's no like shortage of drama in the family, which keeps things pretty entertaining.
Yeah, we were. Everyone was down, Louie and Josh and fans out there at our house in Naples, Florida, 2 Christmases ago, Jansen. Right when you first got called up to Winnipeg, or maybe it was 3 years ago or 4 years ago.
Yeah,
and
before COVID, right before COVID.
Yeah, it was when Star Wars came out, Louie. And I'm a big family guy. I love when everyone's around at my house and everything. Jansen's out there on my lanai, and he dropped a bottle or something, a beer bottle, and it broke, and he was all in a panic because he broke a beer bottle and glasses all over Uncle Don's lanai, so he thought I was going to kill him. But I bought the whole family tickets on Christmas night because Jansen was only there for like 48 hours. He had to get back to Winnipeg. And we all went to Star Wars, the last Star Wars movie that ever came out. I bought like 13 tickets and surprised everyone on Christmas night. We all went to Star Wars. So those are kind of like the family times that are pretty cool. And Jansen's getting married next summer, so we'll be out out for that. So
that was going to be our next question, actually. Yeah. So Josh, go ahead.
Yeah. So obviously every off season, everyone takes a vacation and they do whatever. You're getting married, right? So congratulations.
The plan.
Are you doubling up vacations? Are you doing honeymoon and a trip, or are you just going to do the honeymoon with your new wife?
Yeah, we're getting married next June.
Oh, next summer.
Yeah, it's actually we kind of have a gap here, which is nice.
Okay.
We got engaged last summer, so this will be kind of the first summer of just kind of planning and stuff like that. And like I said, like the season goes by so fast, and there's so many games like so close together these days, and like with travel and everything like that, so it's like it's hard to do a lot of planning, and I don't want to leave everything up to Cameron, so it's kind of just easier that way to give it a good break and being able to kind of bring everything in together. So I think this summer will be just a lot of planning and organizing, and maybe we can bank up some of those holidays for next summer. But I think I mean the plan would be to go on the honeymoon right after. I think that's
a smart play there. Yeah.
I mean, that would be the fun thing to do. And I mean, we're pretty fortunate, like we get good amount of time off in the summer, so it shouldn't be a problem with time off. So as long as we can get those sick days for her, I think we should be fine.
And Jansen, didn't 2 summers ago you had like 3 weddings from your teammates on the Jets?
Yeah.
It was a crazy summer for you, wasn't it? Like who all got married then?
Yeah, I'd only been to one wedding that was like actually kind of like other than like outside the family. And I think I was probably like 20 when I went to that one. And it was just like the funnest night of my life. And it was me and it was my other buddies, one of my best buddies, his older sister who was like 30, and we were like 20. So it was like the perfect, like we were still young enough, like we pretty much got away with everything, but me and all my buddies were there because she was like a big sister to everybody. So it was just like such a fun night. And then finally, like I guess like 3 years later or 4 years later, like I finally got invited to my first wedding, which was actually just like teammates finally kind of getting married. So I went to 3 weddings in like 4 weeks a couple summers ago.
Crap.
So like it was like and the weddings were all like Friday, so we'd be leaving like Thursday, get in Friday, Saturday, get home on Sunday, then we'd be leaving like the next Thursday again. So it kind of shit on a bit of my training, but man, it was good. It was fun. It was really worth it. I think being able to kind of go to those things and see guys from your team like outside of like season months, like in the summer and stuff like that, is always like so much fun because you get guys in a lot different environments, like away from the rink, and just kind of obviously summer is a lot less stress, and a lot less kind of like looking forward to the next day and preparing and stuff. It's more of like a gradual kind of build. So you get kind of guys, myself included, like out of like your daily routine, and it allows for some pretty good times. So I had, three of my best buddies got married that summer from the Jets, and it was awesome. It was
That was last summer.
This was 2 summers ago. Last summer I had no weddings. I had no weddings to go to, and this summer I think I'm also 0 weddings. So like, I don't know if they were all just happening 1 year, or if I don't have any friends anymore or something. But like, something's happening. I think all those weddings were saved. All those weddings were saved up from COVID. So like, finally, like the summer came around where everybody was allowed to have weddings again. So I think they kind of just banked them up, and then they put them all like within the same month. So they just like screwed everybody. But it was a great time, and those are great memories.
Well, you got to look at this though too. Maybe your teammates tweeted out that you gave them shitty wedding gifts, so that's why you haven't gotten invited to any other weddings the last couple of years.
I don't think I give them any wedding gifts, to be honest. So they can buy their own wedding gifts. Those guys.
Yeah. His presence alone was enough. It was like,
exactly,
hey, I'm coming.
Exactly.
Hey.
Exactly.
Did you have to fly out there? Was it drivable, or did you have to get on a plane?
I drove to one that I probably should have flown to. It was in Lake Louise, which was, I thought it was going to be like 8 hours from Vancouver, which turned into probably like 12. So that was a pretty hefty drive. And
that was your gift. That was your gift.
That was my gas. Gift. I sent them the mileage too. And then then what else? We went to Minnesota, which was a flight, and one of my best buddies is Appleton, and he got married in like northern Wisconsin. So we ended up flying to Winnipeg, which is my fiance's from, and then we drove from there, which was like 10 hours down to
oh my gosh,
upper northern Wisconsin, because it was in like this lake country, which was also a pain to get to, which was like another reason like I didn't get him a gift, probably because it was either like flying from Vancouver to Chicago to somewhere, and then like driving and getting a rental car, or like driving like 10 hours from Winnipeg. So I ended up driving from Winnipeg. So
that makes sense.
It was and I actually used, I used my father-in-law's car. So if I owe anybody anything, it's him, because I put like, it was a brand new truck, and I just put like so many kilometers on it. But we got it back safe, and we were both in one piece after. So it was.
Well, Louie, you hear the theme now. I mean, it's pretty obvious now that Uncle Don doesn't have to buy Jansen and Cam a wedding gift. I mean, that's kind of how he rolls, right?
True.
So my presence is good.
You just got to do. Where's the wedding, Jansen? Where is it?
It's in Vancouver. It's in Vancouver, and I don't know how many my Vancouver friends and whatnot are listening to this podcast, so I'll still probably get something. So it's all right if Donnie doesn't get anything.
Hey, this podcast has some reach, okay, Jansen? Maybe they are. All right, maybe they are, bud. All right.
Not.
Yeah, we can just put few episodes. We'll put your wedding registry right on the podcast.
That's right. Address and everything. Yeah. There you go. But Donnie, you're flying from Florida. That's your gift, right? That's all it is.
It's far enough.
I think. I mean, everyone's. We've been talking about this too. It's like we've been together for. I mean, we haven't been together for that long, but I've been living on my own now for like 7 years. Like, I've accumulated so much crap that I don't really need any, like you start buying yourself things that you don't even need anymore at this point. Like, I've been bouncing around. I lived in five different houses in Winnipeg in 6 years. So like, I've accumulated like enough things to like live. So I mean, that's kind of usually what the wedding like list is, right? So it's like, what else can we really get? I think asking people to kind of fly across the country is usually a pretty good. That's good enough for us.
I appreciate that. Honestly, I've gone to weddings with couples that have lived together. They've had a house together. They literally have an entire house of stuff, and yet they still have a registry of things. And it's like, what more do you want? Like, what do you need from us? So I appreciate that.
I think I have like
goes a long way.
The one thing I always like end up forgetting like milk frothers everywhere, like the little Nespresso ones. So I got like 6 milk frothers, I think, and it's just like I'll buy one for the season, and then I'll like forget to bring it home, and then I'll forget. You know what I mean? I'm also like pretty forgetful. So like that doesn't help. But I swear I got like 4 Nespresso milk frothers. So it's like there's not many more things you can really like, there's some things like you can't, like you don't need an upgrade of certain things either,
Big coffee guy. So big coffee guy.
No, not
Or
even
you
really,
just,
not really.
oh my gosh.
I just like frothy milk, I guess. I don't know.
I was hoping that was going like, yeah, man, love it.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just have 5 of them, dude. I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
All right,
that's my one
okay,
thing
that's
that I
fine.
always just buy too much of. I honestly just like I'll have a coffee. I like to drive. Like if we have a practice rink or something, I like to be like a decent drive away from practice rink because I like to like drive and like sip a coffee and like listen to the radio and stuff. So that's always kind of like the one thing I like to have is like, and it's not even fancy coffee. Like we just had an espresso or a Keurig or whatever. But I always I like milk. I'm a big milk guy, so I guess that's what it is.
All right. Well, my wife would kill me if I didn't ask about your dog. And I'm assuming, is this Cameron's dog? Is this your dog? And are you getting more dogs? These are the questions I was told to ask.
Yeah, I mean it's our dog. It's our dog. It's
That's true. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. It's
our
your
dog.
It's
It's
your
our dog now. Yeah, but
it's his frothers, but it's their dog. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes. It's
Donnie started stuff.
yeah. What was the question again? I got him. I got
Your
him
dog.
my first year pro. Funny story, actually. Well, it's not that funny, but my first year pro in Winnipeg, I had a pretty like up and down year, like with injuries, and I ended up like getting mono for like I had mono for like 6 weeks, and like I got a concussion and all this crap, and I ended up. It was my first year living away from home, so like, or not home, but like a billets or by myself. So I was by myself in an apartment downtown Winnipeg. Um, for weeks at a time too. Like I wasn't allowed to go to the rink because I was like contagious and like all this crap. So I was just like looking for hobbies, and I bought an Xbox that didn't last very long. I bought like a painting diesel, didn't paint anything.
Milk
Started just
frother.
like looking for hobbies, and like at the time I actually read a decent amount now, but like I wasn't reading then, so there wasn't much for me to do other than just like binge Netflix. So I was like, by the end of the year, I was driving home from Winnipeg to Vancouver, which is like a 24-hour drive. And I was in Calgary with my dad, which was like halfway home. And I've been looking. One of the things that in my pastime when I was like bored in Winnipeg, I was just like looking at dogs online, like on Kijiji. And do you guys have Kijiji here in the States?
No.
No,
what
it's
is
like
that?
Craigslist. It's like Craigslist. It's like a
Oh.
I don't know. I find it's like a cleaner version of Craigslist. Like you wouldn't find like weird stuff on Kijiji. You'd find like if you bought a dog, it'd be like a real dog, So like,
Yeah.
Not like a dude dressed up as a dog.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like I don't
gotcha.
trust Craigslist really, but like, yeah, it's
All
like
right.
so. I was on Kijiji, which is like this site in Canada, and I was just like looking at puppies and just like, and I grew up with a dog. Like my family, we had a golden retriever growing up, so I was always used to having a dog around. Then I was like, maybe I'll just get a dog because like that would be nice. And I didn't step foot outside because it's minus whatever in Winnipeg. It's freezing. So if there's no reason to go outside, like you don't. Like I'd go like a week. I wouldn't step outside. You'd just be like garage to garage, and I was like, this is no
Nice.
way to live. So I was like, okay, the dog would be nice because it would get me outside, and like I'd have a friend around, whatever. If you play bad, they don't care, stuff like that. So I was driving home, and I was with my dad, and I was still living with my parents at the time. So I was like, would you mind if I got a dog? Like, do you think mom would care, whatever? And he was like, yeah, like right away. He was like, yeah, you could get a dog. Like he loves dogs too, so I knew it wasn't going to be a problem. So I waited to ask him by himself, and so I look online, boom, like dog halfway to Vancouver in Kamloops, BC, which is like probably 6-hour drive from Calgary. So we wake up in the morning. I message the lady. She's like, "We got one dog left. It's a boy. He's ready to go." So I was like, "All right, we'll be there in like 6 hours." So we met at like this like Sherry's like parking lot and did like a parking lot deal like in cash for this dog. So I like went to the ATM, got out like $1,000 in like cash, and like in an envelope and just like swapped it for the dog. Like it was so weird. And so like 5 minutes later, we're driving back to Vancouver, and like the season's over, and now I have a fresh puppy. And so I was going back to live with my parents, which helped out a lot because like first night I was home, like boom, I get home. My friends are all like, my brother, they're like, we're going to this party. It's like a Friday night. I hadn't seen my friends in months. So I'm like, all right. I look at my dad. I'm like, can you watch him? He's like, yeah, I'll watch him. So my dad, I'm pretty sure my dad like slept on the floor because he was like 8 weeks old. Like my dad slept on the floor with him that night. I was gone. And then ever since, just been leaving him behind to go on road trips and all this. Like he's been quite the trooper. This dog, Fox, man, he's the best. And he's 6. He's almost 6. He's turned 6 at the end of the month, March 28th. And yeah, he's been with me everywhere. I lived with him by myself for the first 4 years, I think. Pretty much 4 years. It was just me and him. So every road trip, I would just ask like a girlfriend or one of the wives on the team that I was playing to watch him. And there's a couple of girls in Winnipeg. They know who they are, but they'd watch him pretty much every road trip. And I'd try to get him something nice, like bottle of wine or some gift cards or something after the trips to say thank you. But honestly, like he's just the best dog. Like he's so well behaved, and he's never really been a problem for everybody. So it's pretty much like once I get them to watch him once, like they're always happy to watch him again because he's like such an easy dog to watch. And he's got such a cool temperament. Like he's literally like he's just smart. He's very aware of everything. Like he's the best. And yeah, so now he's turning 6. He's got quite an array of toys. And we actually went to the vet a little while ago because there's crazy ticks here in Pittsburgh, which is like new for us. But we got to get him on a new tick medicine. So I don't know if anyone's listening, like some recommendations for
what is May on? Abs?
Oh, yeah,
Abs.
They got the hookup.
AirPods.
Yeah.
They're on AirPods?
No, what is May on for a tick? What is she on? Avantix.
Avantix.
Yeah, because Pittsburgh is ridiculous, and my dog is roaming around right now. Yeah, she gets a tick all the time, and it's not even like she's in woods.
Yeah,
it's just right. It's where we have a little backyard. What is that?
Is it?
Where is Fox right now, Jansen? Where's Fox at right now?
Fox is upstairs with Mom.
Oh, okay.
He's probably lying. He's laying around. I've pretty much resorted to just like bringing him to a field and just like kicking a ball for him for like an hour because, I mean, I gotta wear him out before we kind of settle down, or else he's just kind of like, I don't know. He just gets pretty annoying, to be honest. But that was the nice thing about Winnipeg is like it's so snowy and it's so cold there. Like all the ticks and all the bugs die in the winter. So like when I'd be there in the winter, it'd be like I could just let him out. He'd roll around in the snow, go nuts. And here, like I've tried to take him a couple times. Like we have some really good trails by our house, but they're all wooded. And the first time we took him out in the woods, we probably spent an hour taking ticks off of him when we got home. So it was like, yeah, that kind of put a damper on the trails and stuff, which is a shame because like the nicest thing I feel like so far that we've about Pittsburgh for us is like I love the hills and the trees and the woods and everything, and it would be nice to kind of get him out there a bit more. He loves it too. He loves chasing deer, and there's so many deer here, and like he'll chase deer. Like that's his favorite thing to do. It's just, and he'll never catch them obviously, but he loves chasing. But yeah, I feel
where
like
I'm at, there's a lot of deer. There's a lot of deer up in Mount Washington for sure. Where I'm at. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he loves the deer, and I think that's like the deer are bad with the ticks, right? The deer ticks. So like, we got to figure out the tick situation and get him back kind of on the hunt. But yeah, as long as he kind of has some space to roam, man, he's a happy dog. He's a happy dog.
And so my wife in the comments asked 3 times, so I got to ask for her. What kind of breed is it? I'm assuming it's a golden retriever.
Yeah, he's a golden retriever. He's a golden retriever.
There you go.
His name's Fox. FAWKES. He's got an Instagram. Nice. I'll plug his Instagram. It's Fox the puppy.
And, Fox the puppy. I'll put it in the chat.
It's Fox from we are my family's dog's name was Gryffindor, like off of Harry Potter. So it's Fox like the Phoenix in Harry Potter, so that's why it's spelled the
Nice.
way it is. But
Wow.
yeah, it's a Harry Potter theme, and he's 6. He's a golden. He's a good boy.
Loving it right now.
He loves.
Abby is. No, my wife over here, she's loving it. She's in the comments like, our dog has an Instagram. They could be Insta pals, and I'm just
They
like, all
could
right,
be,
let's tone it down here. Let's be professional a little bit, all right?
Are we going to change the Pens Collective into the Dog Cast or what?
My wife would love that. She would come running over here.
That sounds good.
Oh my gosh. It does. Yeah. It does. Imagine where it's just like you get hockey players on and we just talk about their dogs. Like they don't even talk about the hockey.
Coach Donnie's got a dog.
Oh.
Yep. That's Selly and that's Mally. So Selly's after obviously goal celebration. Jansen's cousin Tyler named Selly, and then Mally's named after Mally's Chocolates up in Ohio.
Oh, nice.
2 dogs.
All right. You got 3 dogs.
2 dogs. Selly and Mally.
I was going to say, where's the other one? All right. So 2 dogs.
Names.
Well, that's where my confusion was if I thought it was 3, Josh. All right. So we got 2 dogs. We got 1 dog. I got a dog. Josh hates dogs, apparently. And then, so what I wanted to ask was, all right, you guys were born in, you were born in Cleveland.
Yeah.
All right. And so you grew up in Vancouver or yeah.
Yeah. Vancouver.
Yeah. All right. So when we were looking up your stats, they say that you're a Canadian hockey player, even though you were born in America. Is that how that works? What does that mean? Why aren't you listed as
you have to declare like your, I guess, your loyalties as like a hockey player at some point. So it's like,
okay.
I think it's like pretty much like U17 or whatever. Like there's when all like the international tournaments start, you kind of just like choose which side you're gonna play for. But I mean, I grew up in Vancouver since I was like 3. Like everything I remember is really Vancouver. So I mean, there wasn't much influence in like American hockey other than obviously being from the States and everything. But I mean, I played in a few, like Donnie had tournaments in Detroit for a while. I played on a few American teams there and stuff like that. But I mean, a lot of like my hockey was pretty much all Canada in terms of like who I was playing against and teams I was trying to like make and like cuts and stuff like that. So once I got to junior and I went to international, it was like U17, I think. So that was like, we had tryouts in Calgary and stuff like that. Like the US was already doing their own version of that. So which was like the development program, which I wasn't at. I had the opportunity to go to the development program instead of the WHL, but that obviously just like I chose WHL and stuff like that. So I think if I would have went and tried to go to the development program, I'd probably be an American hockey player, I guess. But I mean, that's just kind of the way things kind of shook out.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to rag on American hockey right now, but like, would you be, who you are, 2nd-round draft pick if you went American hockey? I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, American hockey's doing great, man. Like,
wow,
I'm just saying,
you're hot stoving right now. Go ahead.
Who knows? I could have been a 1st-rounder. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think
way to spin it.
I think I mean, American hockey is doing great, and like the development program, what they're doing there with those guys, like I played with so many of those guys at this point, and they're all like great dudes, and you can tell like they loved it there. They love the program. They love all their buddies, and I mean, I think that's kind of what sparks like good programs, right? Is being like comfortable and like confident, and I think their coaching is obviously good, and their facilities are are awesome. So, I mean, we don't really have anything like that in Canada. Everything is pretty much runs through junior hockey and stuff like that. So, that's kind of the one thing we're missing is a development program like that. And I mean, you see it in you get to like U18s. Like we played the development program in U18, and they spanked us. Like I think both times I played them. So it's pretty cool that they get to like go to school and play and practice with each other like year round. Like that's pretty sweet, especially like the top kids in your age group. Like that's something in Canada, like we just never have had anything like that. So.
Gotcha. I was just curious, but if I was from Cleveland, I would also say that I'm from another country as well. Josh, you have a question for. Sorry, I had a horrible experience in Cleveland. I went for a concert, and we were in an Airbnb, and we almost got robbed from our insomnia cookies order at midnight. Man, dude, I'm never going to Cleveland again. So I'm just never, ever going to Cleveland.
Jansen, Ellie always orders those insomnia cookies. So I don't know how Louie almost got held up with the insomnia cookie driver. I have no idea, but
DoorDash order was coming around. Guy just walked up trying to steal the cookies. I was just.
I got those crumble cookies for the first time like yesterday. Oh, yeah. So those are pretty good.
Those are good.
Those are I think they're different style though. Like the insomnias are like I've only ever had like the little like the regular like chocolate chip ones. So the crumble ones I got are crazy. They're like
sugary.
It's like a full cake, yeah. Which I got a big sweet tooth, so I ain't complaining. But
I've had a few. If you can't tell, I've had a few. They're really good, dude.
We don't got cookie shops like that in Canada, so maybe that would have got me to play American.
One for USA, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. Diabetes for the win. All right, Josh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you guys, obviously, you have a long history in your family of just talented athletes and hockey players. Your dad being an NHL pro in Calgary, and apparently he was also a Russian. He was a character in the movie Miracle. Is that correct?
Yep.
So how does that work? Like, I know, obviously, I don't know how much you were involved or around that at the time, but like, did he put in an application? Like, I think that's so cool that he's just an extra in a movie Miracle.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't have any speaking parts, but he's in it like quite a lot actually. He's like one of the main Russian players, Harlamov, number 17. He's got one close up, like I think it's right after the second period in the final game. So that's because we'd always pause it right when his close up was on. And I don't know, it's pretty cool. I think that's such a legendary movie for hockey players in my generation and stuff. So it's always pretty cool. I think it's something I'll always like mention if it's ever on or like something like that. I'll always like mention like my dad's in Miracle.
Do you pause it? Do you pause it and turn to whoever you're watching? Go, that's my dad. And then
I don't pause. I don't pause it, but I'll tell.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just asking.
He's not good looking enough to pause it. I think that's the problem.
His dad pauses it, takes a screenshot of it, saves it, blows it up.
Yeah. He's got you can tell he's been huffing and puffing, like his face is beet red, and he's like, it's not like he's not really a movie star, but he's in the movie. Like, you know what I mean?
That's so cool.
It's super cool. I think I mean, it's probably cooler for me than it is for him. I mean, that's one of my favorite movies. Like, I love that movie. All my buddies love that movie. Watched that on the bus, growing up, and all my friends back in Vancouver, we love that movie. So it's like, it's fun. But I think, well, what happened was that they were filming it in Vancouver, and my dad was like recently retired, so he still kind of had his, I guess, plan, like he could still skate. So somebody I think just told him like wherever he was working at the time, they were like they're having like auditions like for extras and stuff for this like Disney movie, and it was like right across the bridge, like probably like 5-10 minutes. So I think he just like went one day, stood in line, and then they weeded him out pretty quick because I think there was like criteria like you had to have played some sort of high level hockey and all this. Like people are like lying, right? Like they had like lines of like hundreds of people, and everyone's like pretending they could play, and then they'd actually have to like prove that they played or something, and I think they scrapped like probably like 80% of the people. Then it went down to like, all right, let's see you on the ice. So they went on the ice. There goes another like 80 or like another like 10% of the people left. So then now it's down to like probably like 50 people, because half the guys that said they could skate and like lied about whatever couldn't actually skate. So it's like I think they got down to like a reasonable number like pretty quickly, and then it was just kind of like, all right, we have enough guys here to like make like a fake team. And then he got like one of the kind of like heavier like film spots. So it's like I don't know how it all happened exactly, but I just remember hearing the story of like there was hundreds of people and they were all just like lying about being hockey players, So until you kind of get on the ice, like everyone can say they can do whatever, right? But yeah, you can tell pretty quick if someone has like played like high level hockey or not. So
yeah, it's half decent
Donnie,
hockey on the film too, though. So like it makes sense why they were looking for that type of
this is true.
actor. So
yeah, like
cool.
and they wanted like obviously like in film and whatever, like they had all the American actors picked out. So they were like those guys, except for maybe a couple, those guys were all like real actors that like had some hockey experience. But if they're just gonna cast like extras for the Russians, like they had a specific guy, like they weren't looking to like cast like little guys that were like speed, like they were looking for some like big like villain looking dudes, like go against USA. Like that's what they were looking for. And my dad is just like a big, he was like big red faced dude. Like that was perfect. And yeah, just to pay because they were trying to paint them as villains, obviously, which they were, right? So it's like they were looking for like big dudes that like looked scary on the ice. So he kind of fit the bill.
Yeah, and Louie, if you don't know that when I was when they were filming that, Eddie Cahill played Jim Craig, and they were filming. I was at the Coliseum and watched, met Kurt Russell, the whole deal, saw the whole a one day of shooting when I was out in Vancouver visiting them, and
of course
they could not do the scene because Eddie Cahill could not stop the puck. So my brother had Jansen's dad had to go call his buddy Bill Ranford, who obviously was a legendary goalie for the Edmonton Oilers, and Bill Ranford came and was the extra or the stunt goalie or whatever you want to call it. So when they ran these actual choreographed scenes, they could actually stop the puck because this Eddie Cahill guy could never make a save as playing the part of Jim Craig. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
he worked with Jim Craig for a while.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the story
we all seen the movie.
The story my dad always says is so there's like the one final scene and they had I don't know how much money. It was like I don't know, a couple hundred or a couple thousand or something, but like somebody offered the money where they're like, all right, if whoever scores like the first goal like gets the money, gets the cash. So they had like the whole because they wanted like just the Russians just to pour it on for like the last minute of the movie. If you remember the game, like the Russians are just like going at them trying to tie the game up. So they have like for I don't know how many, say like 10-15 minutes straight, like they had two lines of Russian players and they were just like nonstop just trying to score, and like they were just like firing everything. And finally, I guess my dad said he scored. And I mean, so he said he took all the boys to the bar and he bought drinks and rounds for everybody. I don't know if he actually did, but that's like the story he always likes to say is like he scored the first goal, when they were just like laying it on Ranford there. But yeah, I remember my dad saying like Eddie Cahill couldn't stop anything. Like he wasn't a goalie, but I don't know. He's a good actor, though. He's probably the biggest actor in it. That's a pretty cool him and Kurt Russell.
Well, Kurt Russell's probably bigger than that. But I think behind the scenes they did say like he wasn't even that strong of a skater. I think when he first started, right?
No, but that's why I think that's probably why it's best that he was a goalie because you put the mask on and like they have all the shots. Yeah. I mean they're pretty creative, but yeah, he's definitely not like a goalie. The other guys could all play like pretty well, I think. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I love watching that movie. I'll watch that movie like once in a while still.
Top of the head, how many times have you seen it? If you had a
Miracle. Guess. I'd say 20 to 30.
That's unreal.
20 to 30.
That's unreal. And out of that 30, how many times have you paused it and said, "That's my dad"?
Probably the 2 times I watched with my dad.
That's perfect.
2 times. That was definitely like the first movie I owned. Like that's a fun, like when I go back on my my iCloud or whatever, all the movies you own. Cause like, I mean, even when not very long ago, the only way to stream a movie, like you're buying a movie, you're downloading it on my laptop or whatever. And I think Miracle is definitely one of the first ones, if not the first one I bought. Me and my brothers all own that one. My dad probably made us buy it because he gets a royalty, but yeah, he still gets his royalty checks too.
Does he sneak his signature on it?
Donnie loves that one, but my dad still gets his Miracle royalty check every 2 months, probably for like $4.99.
Yeah. It's unbelievable because Jansen said that Todd, his dad, told him that he took the boys out to the bar and stuff. If my brother won 200, now they gotta preface this, guys, by my brother Todd, Jansen's dad, had a Chili Willy ceramic bank that he had in his room, and me and my other brother Brett, my youngest brother, I'm the oldest, Jansen's dad's the middle. We would take money out of Todd's bank because he's the only one that ever had any money because Brett and I always spent our money. So Todd would like write IOUs out that Don owes me $4 or Brett owes me $2. And I will guarantee you those are still uncollected debts in his Chili Willy bank to this day. So if he got that $200, I guarantee it went right in his Chili Willy bank.
Okay? Yeah, he's still looking to collect for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why every time he comes down and visits me in Florida, between the Crown Royal and him having a good time, it costs me I said, Todd, why does it cost me $1,000 when you guys come to visit me in Florida?
That's true, but he'll always
interesting.
Yeah.
He'll always leave behind a bottle of Crown. That's what that's the one thing. That's the one thing. I'll have like if I have a bottle of Crown here or something, he'll come by. It'll be like, like literally like an inch gone or something. He'll come by, boom, it's gone, and like every time he leaves, he's like leaving with he's leaving me a brand new bottle every time. Which is funny because it's like he's just like leaving it for himself the next time he comes,
Exactly. That's exactly right. He's just pre-stocking his when next time he shows up.
He's like he knows it's gonna be there when he comes back, which is smart. You don't know how to travel. You travel light.
Josh, question.
No, I'm good.
You're good.
You,
Donnie, one more question.
I can just say one little thing about Jansen was his nickname. Like obviously, all of us, our nicknames were Harks, always in dressing rooms that we played, the teams we played on. But his nickname was, I call him to this day, Little Botch, because he always used to say he couldn't say watch, he couldn't say his W's, but he would always tell all of us if we were together, they were swimming when they were little or playing mini sticks or whatever. He always wanted us to watch me over and over and over. So, but he couldn't say watch, so he would say botch me. So, till still this day, his nickname with me is Little Botch. So,
Jansen, I can tell you love this story, dude.
just an attention seeker, man. But I was always good. I was probably good at whatever I was doing. I was trying to get some praise.
You were just trying to get what was yours. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
He's like, botch me, Uncle Don. Look how many milk frothers I have.
And with that, let's wrap up this episode. Jansen, Donnie, we'll talk to you right after the episode. But Josh, let's just quickly do our outro. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Thank you so much for following us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. Our next game is Jansen. When's the next game? Thursday, March 14th. Sharks against the Pens. We're back home. 7:00 puck drop. We'll go live after the game. After that, thank you for watching and joining us. Thank you for Jansen and Donnie for coming on. Now, Jansen, after every single episode, we go, as always, let's go Pens. So I'll hand it to you. As always,
let's go Pens.
There we go.
Thanks, guys.